Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Bo Chen.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Ven Chan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you a part of A Tale of Two Cities, Book the Third, Golden Thread.
Beth.
Al.
A Tale of Two Cities, Book the Third, Golden Thread. Charles Dickens. Chap. 14 The Knitting Done, Sec. 1. In that same juncture of time when the 52 awaited their fate, Madame Defarge held darkly ominous counsel with the Vengeance and Jack 3 of the Revolutionary Jury. Not in the wine shop did Madame Defarge confer with these ministers, but in the shed of the wood sawyer, or as to mender of roads. The sawyer himself did not participate in the conference, but abided at a little distance. Like an outer satellite, he was not to speak until required, or to offer an opinion until invited. But our Defarge, said Jack 3, is undoubtedly a good Republican, with little vengeance, said Madame Defarge, laying her hand with a slight frown on her lieutenant's lips. Hear me speak. My husband, fellow citizen, is a good Republican and a bold man. He has deserved well of the Republic, and possesses its confidence. It is a great pity, croaked Jack 3, dubiously shaking his head, with his cruel fingers at his hungry mouth. It is not quite like a good citizen. See you, said Madame. I care nothing for this doctor. He may wear his head or lose it, for any interest I have in him. It is all one to me. She has a fine head for it, croaked Jack 3. I have seen blue eyes and golden hair there, and they looked charming when Samson held them up, ogre that he was. He spoke like an epicure. Madame Defarge cast down her eyes, and reflected a little. The child also, observed Jack 3, with the meditative enjoyment of his words, has golden hair and blue eyes. And we still damn have a child there. In a word, said Madame Defarge, coming out of her short abstraction, I cannot trust my husband in this matter. Not only do I feel, since last night, that I dare not confide to him the details of my projects. That must never be, quoth Jack 3. No one must escape. We have not half enough as it is. In a word, Madame Defarge went on, my husband has not my reason for pursuing this family to annihilation, and I have not his reason for regarding this doctor with any sensibility. I must act for myself. Therefore, the wood sir, who held her in the respect, and himself in the submission of mortal foe, advanced with his hand to his red cap, touching those signals. "Little citizen," said Madame Defarge, sternly. That she made to the prisoners. I. Why not?" cried the sire. "Every day, in all weathers, from 2 to 4, always signalling, sometimes with the little one, sometimes with art. I know what I know." He made all manner of gestures while he spoke, as if in incidental imitation of some few of the great diversity of signals that he had never seen. "Clearly plots," said Jack 3. "There is no doubt of the jury?" inquired Madame Defarge, letting her eyes turn to him with a gloomy smile. "Rely upon the patriotic jury. Do you citize this?" "Anne, let me see," said Madame Defarge, pondering again. Yet once more. "Can I spare this doctor to my husband?" "I have no feeling either way. He would count as one head," observed Jack 3, in a low voice. "We really have not heads enough." "He was signalling with her when I saw her," argued Madame Defarge. "I cannot speak of one without the other, and I must not be silent, and trust the case wholly to him, this little citizen here." The Vengeance and Jack 3 vied with each other in their fervent protestations that she was the most admirable and marvellous of witnesses. The little citizen, not to be outdone, declared her to be a celestial witness. "He must take his chance," said Madame Defarge. "No, I cannot spare him. You are engaged at 3 o'clock. The question was addressed to the wood sawyer. He hurriedly replied in the affirmative, seizing the occasion to that he was the most ardent of Republicans, and that he would be in effect the most desolate of Republicans if anything prevented him from enjoying the pleasure of smoking his afternoon pipe in the contemplation of the droll national barber. He was so very demonstrative herein, that he might have been suspected, perhaps was, by the dark eyes that looked contemptuously at him out of Madame Defarge's head, of having his small individual affairs for his own personal safety every hour in the day. "I," said Madame, "am equally engaged at the same place." The wood sawyer said he would be proud and flattered to attend the citizeness. The citizeness looking at him, he became embarrassed, evaded her glance as a small dog would have done, retreated among his wood, and hid his confusion over the handle of his saw. She will now be at home, awaiting the moment of his death. She will be mourning and grieving. She will be in a state of mind to impeach the justice of the Republic. She will be full of sympathy with its enemies. What an admirable woman! What an adorable woman! Exclaimed Jack 3. Archerously. "Oh, my cherish," cried the Vengeance, and embraced her. "Take you my knitting," said Madame Defarge, placing it in her lieutenant's hands, "and have it ready for me in my usual seat. Keep me my usual chair. I willingly obey the orders of my chief," said the Vengeance with alacrity, and kissing her cheek. And before the tumbrils arrive, Madame Defarge slightly waved her hand to imply that she heard, and might be relied upon to arrive in good time, and so went through the mud, and round the corner of the prison wall. The Vengeance and the German, looking after her as she walked away, were highly appreciative of her fine figure and her superb moral endowments. There were many women at that time, upon whom the time laid a dreadfully disfiguring hand. But there was not one among them more to be dreaded than this ruthless woman, now taking her way along the streets, of a strong and fearless character, of shrewd sense and readiness, of great determination, of that kind of beauty which not only seems to impart to its possessive firmness and animosity, but to strike into others an instinctive recognition of those qualities. The troubled time would have heaved her up, under any circumstances, but, imbued from her childhood with a brooding sense of wrong, and an inveterate hatred of a class, opportunity had developed her into a tigress. She was absolutely without pity. If she had ever had the virtue in her, it had quite gone out of her. It was nothing to her that an innocent man was to die for the sins of his forefathers. She saw, not him, but them. It was nothing to her that his wife was to be made a widow and his daughter an orphan. That was insufficient punishment, because they were her natural enemies and her prey, and as such had no right to life. To appeal to her was made hopeless by her having no sense of pity, even for herself. If she had been laid low in the streets, in any of the many encounters in which she had been engaged, she would not have pitied herself. Or, if she had been ordered to the axe tomorrow, would she have gone to it with any such a feeling than a first desire to change places with the man who sent her there? Such a heart Madame Defarge carried under her rough robe, carelessly worn. It was a becoming robe enough, in a certain weird way, and her dark hair looked rich under her coarse red cap, Lying hidden in her bosom was a loaded pistol. Lying hidden at her waist was a sharpened dagger. Desiccated, and walking with the confident tread of such a character, and with the supple freedom of a woman who had habitually walked in her girlhood, barefoot and bare-legged, on the Brancy sand, Madame Defarge took her way along the streets. And when the journey of the travelling coach, at that very moment waiting for the completion of its load, had been planned out last night, the difficulty of taking Miss Price in it had much engaged Mr. Lorry's attention. It was not merely desirable to avoid overloading the coach, but it was of the highest importance that the time occupied in examining it and its passengers should be reduced to the utmost. To be continued.